Psalm 5, verses 4 through 8. For you are not a God who takes pleasure in wickedness, nor shall evil dwell with you. The boastful shall not stand in your sight. You hate all workers of iniquity. You shall destroy those who speak falsehood. The Lord abhors the bloodthirsty and deceitful man. But as for me, I will come into your house in the multitude of your mercy. In fear of you, I will worship towards your holy temple. Lead me, O Lord, in your righteousness because of my enemies. Make your way straight before my face. With this most recent release of what's called the Epstein files, what is highlighted for the reader is really the darkness that human beings are capable of. I've always said that you should never underestimate the depravity of humans. You should never underestimate just how wicked a human being can be in their sinful nature. For a long time, my wife and I worked in the field of human trafficking aftercare and rescue, and my wife was the director of a program that would care for young ladies, really young children, who were sexually abused and trafficked. And we saw firsthand, up close and personal, the effects of that disgusting practice, of that disgusting wickedness that is alive and well in all corners of this wicked world that we live in. And whenever you're dealing with this type of subject matter, or whenever you're talking about other things like genocide or disease or plague and famine in the world, the secular realm uses it as an occasion to blaspheme God and saying, your God, the Christian God, who is stated to be good, if he is so good, why does he allow this type of wickedness to happen? But here in the Psalms, what is told to us about our God is that he has nothing to do with that sort of wickedness. It says in verse 4, for you are not a God who takes pleasure in wickedness, nor shall evil dwell with you. What's saying is that in the presence of God, there is no evil there. There is no wicked. He cannot be the source of wickedness and evil and iniquity because it doesn't even dwell in his realm and in his presence. He is the source of all good, of all light, and of all love. And I think the struggle we have in reconciling these two ideas, that if our God is so good, why is there wickedness in the world, is really rooted in a misunderstanding of what wickedness is, the nature of evil and wickedness. I think the Bible is correct to liken wickedness to darkness. Because when you look at darkness, darkness doesn't have a speed, it doesn't have a weight, you can't really measure it, whereas light you can. It has a measurable speed and a measurable effect on things. Light is the substance. So what is darkness? When you come into a room and you turn on the light, it's not like the darkness has to be forced out of the room. The light just turns on and immediately darkness scatters. Why is that? Because darkness is defined by the absence of light. And in a lot of ways, I think that highlights something to us about the nature of wickedness. I don't think wickedness is, in a sense, measurable in the same manner that light, love, and goodness are. I think it is defined by the absence or the disconnection from the source of all power, from God himself. When Adam and Eve sinned in the garden, they, in a sense, shut off the light switch and disconnected us from the source of all good, of all righteousness, of all love, of all peace. And the nature of being disconnected from all those things is darkness, wickedness, and evil. And in a lot of ways, I believe that that's when entropy started. Entropy being the second law of thermodynamics, which states that a closed system free from all external power sources will naturally decay and degrade or lose heat, right? Thermodynamics meaning heat power, right? A closed system, something that is cut off from all external power sources, will degrade and descend into chaos. Well, that seems to be the state of this world, right? Morally and spiritually, like we've been disconnected. And the nature of that entropy, spiritually speaking, is evil and wickedness. We've been disconnected from the God who is all good, all peace, all love, and wickedness doesn't even dwell in his presence. So when you understand that nature, you understand that it's not a thing to necessarily be created by God. It was created by our choice to rebel against God, by our choice to flip that switch to the off position and cut ourselves off from all good mercy, love, peace, joy, from everything that human beings were created to enjoy, and the things that our hearts long for some reason. Have you ever thought about that? That why does your heart long for justice, for peace, for love, and for good if those things were not meant to be connected to us in some way, shape, or form? It's like the absence of those things is telling our heart that there's something wrong with this world. And Paul will say that in the New Testament, that the deeds of the flesh are manifest. You could see them plainly. You could see that there's something wrong with this world. But the Lord sees it as well, because he did not create it this way. He created it for his glory, that man would be in intimate communion and fellowship with him in that garden, and we cut ourselves off. And we know, according to the New Testament gospel, that he has sent his only son to die as a means for us to have access before his throne once again, where our sin would be dealt with, where our wickedness and iniquity would be burned away by his love and his compassion and mercy and forgiveness for us. And we could then re-enter that intimate communion and connection with him. But our God is not the source of all those wicked things. Don't let the world convince you of that. Our God is the source of all good, and our sin has disconnected us from all that is good because we've been disconnected from him. So now we see the true nature of wickedness and the true nature of evil and the true nature of God in light of those things. And God is diametrically opposed to the wickedness in this world because it is not sourced from him. It is other, it is foreign. And he is against it in a very vicious manner. It says, verse 5, the boastful shall not stand in your sight. You hate all workers of iniquity. You shall destroy those who speak falsehood. The Lord abhors the bloodthirsty and deceitful man. Because his nature is all of love and good and justice and peace, everything that is opposed to him, he is against. He is opposed to it, and one day he will destroy. Saints, there may be names redacted from those files, but they are not redacted from God's sheet of justice, where he will hold every human being, every bloodthirsty man to account for every drop of innocent blood they have shed. Our God is opposed to the wickedness in the world. So the next time someone says, why has your God allowed these things to happen? Say, no, he hasn't. One day he will hold every one of those wicked men to account, and he will judge them and destroy them. And you better get your heart right so that you are not found as a worker of iniquity either. That's who our God is in light of the wickedness that is manifest in this world. He is one who is against it, and one who abhors it, and one who will one day destroy it. Now, us who are connected to that Lord of all goodness and of all love and all mercy, when we see this wickedness in the world, it's sometimes a knee-jerk reaction to try to get an excuse to put on a vigilante mask like Batman and go out and distribute some righteous judgment and indignation. But that's not what the psalmist does here in regards to that bloodthirsty wickedness and iniquity. He says in verse 7, but as for me, I will come into your house in the multitude of your mercy. In fear of you, I will worship you toward your holy temple. Lead me, O Lord, in your righteousness because of my enemies. Make your way straight before my face. What he says is, Lord, in my heart, I hate this stuff as much as you hate it. But I also know what makes you smile, and I want to be found doing that. I know, God, you will destroy them one day. What the psalmist is not doing is turning a blind eye and sweeping things under the rug. He's attributing God the role of judge and saying, you're the judge. You will handle them. And since you're the judge, let me be found doing according to your will with my life. Let me be found walking in your path. And as a matter of fact, Lord, I can't even discover your path for myself. Make it straight and plain for me. Saints, when we see the wickedness in this world, we can very quickly be tempted to go do something about it. And there's a lot of people stoking up their listeners to try and go do something about it as well. That's not what the Lord would have us do as Christians. What he would have for us is a way of righteousness, is a way of healing those who are the direct results, the human fodder of those wicked, bloodthirsty men's decisions. And what we can do is walk in the righteous way, love those who are broken, heal those who are injured, bind up the brokenhearted, Be the balm of peace upon someone who has been burdened down by the result of the wickedness in this world. That's the way in which we should walk, by looking towards his temple, by saying to the Lord, I know you will hold all bloodthirsty men to account, but you will also hold me to account, Lord, and I want to walk in the way that you would have for me. Let me be a vessel of your love, your light, your goodness, and your mercy in a world that is infested with darkness and iniquity. Saints, I pray that this is an encouragement to you. As much wickedness as you see in this world, know that your God is not the source of it, but he will be the end of it. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to hit the like button, share this with your friends and family, and subscribe to this channel for more videos just like this. If you'd like to support this ministry, go ahead and check out wayfolkpress.com, which is our publishing company, as well as our Patreon. I'll leave those links in the description down below. Until next time, God bless and peace.